welcome to another episode of the Verde Valley Experience. I'm your host, Jennifer Cohen. Thank you so much for joining us today. Wow, it's coming into another amazing time in the Verde Valley here as summer gets later and it turns into fall. Just the next few weeks, it's going to be the first day of autumn. It's amazing. And of course, there's always good things going on, and it's a wonderful time to get out and do stuff and join clubs and just sit outside and enjoy this wonderful place that we live. So we've got some good stuff coming up for you on today's show. We're going to start off our show today with J.D. Maddie, who is the president of Astronomers of the Verde Valley, and he's in today full of information about our current night sky viewing conditions. And J.D. will fill us in on what we can see, what to look forward to as summer is turning into autumn, and they have this fabulous moonlit hike coming up at the Red Rock State Park on the 16th. They have other events coming up in October. There's always really great stuff going on during any time of year here at the Verde Valley. So you should check in with the Astronomers of Verde Valley. And so JD will be coming up soon with all that information, so make sure you don't go anywhere because you're going to want to hear about that. And our next guest will be Luna Star Van Atta, who is author of The Secret Life of an Astral Traveler. Luna's book is interesting, thought-provoking, and humorous. I particularly love the chapter titled Michael, Jesus, and George Carlin. That's a good one. You'll be fascinated by Luna's experiences with remote viewing, channeling, and astral traveling. She's a truly lovely human being, and I can't wait for you to meet her, so stick around. Next up in the studio will be Sedona Airport Coordinator Jake Allen in to discuss the upcoming Sedona Airport Day. Airport Day is going to be held on Saturday, September 17th, and it's going to feature cool classic automobiles and aircrafts of all vintages, including former military, antique, home-built, as well as brand spanking new. And way too much fun. There will be fly-ins, entertainment, food, beverages, and lots of family fun for memories in the making. So stay tuned so you can hear all about that. Then we'll visit with naturopathic doctor and author of Spirit of the Stones, Amalia Comateros. Amalia joins us in the Red Rocks of Sedona to demonstrate grounding. There is an emerging science documenting how conductive contact with the earth, which is also known as grounding, is highly beneficial to your health in many ways. Now, Amalia is going to bring us through the process and describe some of the benefits to our health and well-being by doing something as simple as putting your bare feet in the dirt. You don't need any special equipment. All you need is your own feet and some dirt. And we'll finish out our show today in grand style as we are joined once again by the Jerome Ukulele Orchestra. Whoopee! Chock full of the most fun and happy people, the Jerome Ukulele Orchestra meets Thursdays at 5:30 at the Bordello Restaurant in beautiful Jerome, and they invite you to come join in the fun and sing and play and hang out and whatever it is that moves you. So make sure you stick around. They're going to perform for us live here in the studio, so lots of good stuff coming up. Let's go ahead and get started. We have with us J.D. Maddie, the president of Astronomers of Verde Valley.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, certainly, certainly.
I know you're a busy man because you guys always have something going on.
Oh, yes, we always have something going on. And there's a lot going on in the sky right now. Not only the Milky Way is high in the sky after sunset, which is just beautiful, chock full of clusters, nebulas, you name it, it's probably there. And plus Sagittarius, the Archer, that's what most people know as the teapot. Scorpio, the Scorpion, which we call Scorpius sometimes. That's a really, really big constellation in the sky as well.
Yeah, I did notice the Milky Way seems more present than ever.
Yes, the monsoons unfortunately bring some clouds occasionally that interrupt our viewing, but when the skies do clear, the rain cleans all the dust and pollen out of the air and just makes for really, really crisp, clear nights. So it's really enjoyable viewing after it rains like that.
I have noticed that.
Yeah.
What other interesting things we've got going
Well,
on?
a couple of things, a couple of mission updates. You've probably heard of the New Horizons mission, which is the spacecraft that passed Pluto, and it's been a year now since it passed Pluto, and it's still transmitting back data. The spacecraft was constructed and designed over 20 years ago, so the technology then was a little slower than it is now. So the transmission rate for all the data that they acquired is going to take nearly a year and a half just to transmit back Earth. But they've already acquired a second target and approved a second target through NASA, and it's going up and going to pass by another asteroid. It has one of these crazy names, 2014 MU69, and it'll reach there on January 1st, 2019. So in about 3 years it'll be there. But it'll provide us with some great information on these objects that are very, 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 very far away that we're not able to look at with our telescopes, even the big telescopes. And then just this past July 4th, the Juno mission inserted into orbit around Jupiter. And until the Juno mission launched and arrived at Jupiter, the New Horizons spacecraft going to Pluto was the fastest spacecraft, and it was traveling at about 36,000 miles an hour. However, the gravitational pull on the Juno satellite as it approached Jupiter, because it's really, really big, it reached a speed of over 160,000 miles an hour.
Wow.
And so then just about a day, probably July 3rd into July 4th, they fired the retro rockets, to slow it down to be able to go into orbit. And it's just transmitted back its data that it just took at its first orbit. Has roughly a 52-day orbit. So once the orbit was inserted, then they can fire up all the equipment and computers and start transmitting data back. So that was pretty exciting to see some of those really close-up pictures, because it's flying within 3,000 miles of the Jupiter surface. So pretty interesting.
That is.
Yes.
Yeah.
A couple of things in the sky that's you may notice right in between the constellations of Sagittarius, the teapot, and Scorpius, the scorpion, are Saturn and Mars. And Mars has been kind of backing up. We passed Mars about 2 or 3 months ago, so it appears that it's going away from us, but it's also been appearing to move to the eastward motion in the sky as well. So last week it actually lined up with Saturn and Antares, the heart of the scorpion. And now it's far to the east of Antares and Saturn, and forms a really nice bright triangle that you can easily see with the naked eye after sunset.
Wow.
Just look to the south, slightly southwest, and you'll see 3 really bright objects. A golden object, which would be Antares. Mars will be to the upper left, and Saturn to the upper right.
All right. I did see that the other day, and I was wondering, my knowledge of astronomy is really, really lame.
Yeah. Well, we just like to look.
But I noticed that.
We like to look up at the sky and see pretty things. A couple of events that are coming up in the next couple of months are at Red Rock State Park on September 16th, and that is a moonlight hike. So that's reservations required there. They have a limited number of people, and they have actually 3 different hikes. And then as the attendees come back from the hikes, we have our telescopes set up. And because it's full moon, we'll get to look at the bright moon. And there'll be a few other stellar objects and clusters and things we'll be able to see in the sky. And then next month, on October 22nd, we'll be at the Red Rock Ranger Station just south of the village of Oak Creek. And we'll have our fall star party there. And that's a really nice dark site. It's kind of away from the city, and that'll be a really nice dark site to look at the wonders of the sky.
And what else goes on at the star party? You've got your telescope set up, and you're looking at specific things. How long does that last?
Normally about 2 hours. At the ranger station, we'll have a presentation that lasts 30 to 45 minutes in their media room, and then we'll go out and start looking through the telescopes then.
That's wonderful. And do you have to be a member of the Astronomy Club in order to
Oh, no,
join
all of our events are open to the public, yes. Some, like Red Rock State Park, you have to call ahead and make a reservation, but the ranger station doesn't require that. So you just show up at sunset, or the specified time is on our website.
Right. Yeah, and the website is wonderful, astroverde.org. Very simple. That's a great one. I love the simple ones. astroverde.org. You've got your menu with the information, plus you've got the calendar of events, which is awesome and accurate, which I love, and then all the other things of what's going on and pictures and posts, and it's a really great website.
And be sure to click on the Facebook icon on the left column. That'll take you to our Facebook page, and we update that thing every day or so with new pictures of the sun, of solar flares, of any events that we've been doing, and what's up in the night sky as well.
Wow, and you just look for Astronomers of Verde Valley on Facebook.
Actually, it's titled Astro Verde Valley. That's why it's easier to go to our astroverde.org site and then just click on the F.
Okay, very good. I love
icon.
Facebook. Yeah. Isn't that awesome? Just upload your pictures and there you are, and it's real current and everybody knows what's going on.
Unfortunately, we have no pretty kitties or no funny videos.
Thank God.
It's all astronomy.
I'm funny cat videoed out, I have to tell you. You could come up with a cat looking at the moon. I mean, you could.
Well, we do have what I call the Mad Cat Nebula is pictured on there. I put on there last
Really?
week. Yes, yes.
The Mad Cat Nebula.
Yes, yes,
wow. Where's that located?
That's in Sagittarius, Scorpius area.
How interesting. I love these names. That's who came up with that?
Well, I come up with that one. It actually has an official name, the Trifid Nebula, or
Okay.
Messier number 20. But the picture, when you see the picture, you'll know that it looks just like a grumpy cat or a mad cat.
The grumpy cat.
Yes,
How
yes.
funny. See, even astronomers have a sense of humor.
Yes, we do. Sometimes.
Now, if someone wants to join the club, what do they have to do?
Oh, they could just show up at one of our meetings. We meet at the Verde Valley Medical Center on Saturdays, and it's once a month meeting. In fact, if you'll go to our website, it'll update you on our next meeting dates and times and
Very
such.
good. Yep, because that just changed, I noticed. On
Yes,
the
yes,
website.
we ended up having to change one, yes. So always be sure to check there before you show up.
Absolutely. Astroverde.org. You can't go wrong with that. Okay, so upcoming events. We've got the Moonlight Hike and Lunar Viewing at Red Rock State Park. That's happening on September 16th, which I believe is a Friday.
Yes.
And then after that in October, you've got the Red Rock Crossing Ranger Station.
October 22nd, yes, and we'll do solar viewing during the daytime there. So if you come out after, say, 1 p.m., we'll have our special hydrogen alpha and calcium K solar telescopes set up to look at the sun safely.
Very good. Oh, yeah, that's really, really important. You have to do that safely. Yeah.
And then there's 2 more events if you like to camp and make road trips. At Karchner Caverns on October 1st, we're having one of our events there. And it's a nice trip from here. They do have campgrounds there. And also, if you haven't been to the caverns are just marvelous to go through.
Right.
So you can kind of tie in a little mini vacation, go through the caverns, come to the Star Party. They always have a top-notch speaker in the amphitheater there. So that's always a lot of fun.
Wonderful.
And then our 10th anniversary of our Alamo Lake State Park Star Party is on November 19th. And that's north of Wyndon, about 35 miles, just really out in the middle of nowhere, which really has nice dark skies.
Right.
And that's definitely a road trip and a camping adventure as well.
Too fun. All the
Yes,
things I
yes.
like, camping, road trips, that sounds great. Well, if you need more information, astroverde.org. That's where you want to go. Everything you need to know is going to be on that website, astroverde.org. JD, Maddie, thank you very much for being here
Thanks
with
for
us.
having me.
Appreciate it. Always
Certainly.
good to see you, and happy star viewing,
Thank you.
I guess. And we'll be right back, so don't go away.
Your seat cushion can be used to grant wishes.
Who said that? Hello?
Really can, you know.
You talking to me?
Sure am. Because the airline miles or dollars you donate to Make-A-Wish can help send thousands of kids on their wish trips. So donate to Make-A-Wish today.
You really should, you know. You really should.
And give wishes wings. Because wishes work wonders.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. We are now here with Luna Star-Vanetta, who is the author of The Secret Life of an Astral Traveler. Very interesting book and very funny. I love your sense of humor.
Oh, thank you.
I mentioned before, some of the titles are just a scream for the chapters. Chapter 19 is Michael, Jesus, and George Carlin.
Yes,
it's just
the new trilogy.
That's
yes.
wonderful.
Yeah.
So tell us, Luna, how did this all get started?
Well, I had extraordinary life experiences, as you can tell by reading the book. And after my husband passed away, which was a little more than 2 years ago, he kept giving me these messages that I needed to write the book. And I basically sat at the keyboard and he wrote the book.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Excellent. So you could almost say it was channeled.
Yes.
In partnership.
Yes,
It was
mostly
a partnership
channeled.
between you. Well, that's wonderful. And the stories that are within are wonderful and poignant, and some of them are very sad, you know, with the loss of your husband.
Yes.
You know, I'm very sorry for that.
Yes, thank you.
But he continues to be with
He's
you.
here right
yeah,
now.
absolutely.
He's like right over there.
Hi, Michael. Which is and that's how it always is. Once we get to that understanding and realize that's how that all is. So that is a wonderful reason to write a book. Amazon #1 bestseller.
Yes.
Hello, nothing to
Yes.
sniff at there. So that's really great.
Quite an honor.
And what would you say is your favorite part of the book? I mean, there's a lot of memoirs
my
and
goodness.
journalings in here.
Well, I think the chapter that's titled "A Spirit Ate My
That
Homework."
was the other title I
A
love.
Spirit Ate My Homework. That's a favorite because that was a turning point for me. I was doing my remote viewing homework. The spirit came in unexpectedly. It was a little girl that had been kidnapped and murdered in the 1970s, and she started downloading information about her case, and that spurred me on to work several murder cases.
That's so interesting.
So that's one of my favorites. It's not the most uplifting, but
Yeah, but truly. Now, for those that haven't yet read your book, can you describe who you are and what you do and what's in here?
Well, one of the most important things I do is I teach people to send their consciousness out of body with a focus on healing from grief. So I teach workshops to help people go to the other side of the veil, call in their deceased loved ones, have those conversations that they've really been yearning to have. And that's the most fulfilling thing I do. I'm also a Reiki master, teacher. I'm a spiritual counselor and an intuitive.
Very good. Now, tell us what's the difference between, you talk about remote viewing in here and you talk about astral travel. Now, those two things are very different. Can you describe?
They're somewhat different, not hugely different.
Okay.
Astral travel is basically going out and having experiences. So I would say most of my book is about astral travel. It could be astral romance. It could be working a murder case. It could be connecting with deceased loved ones. Remote viewing is a military term, very structured protocol that you follow to go out and get information for the government and just bring that information back. So it's not experiential. So working terrorist attacks, things like that.
Now, your husband Michael was a remote viewer for the military.
Yes.
And he had a big hand in developing that program, didn't he?
Well, he didn't actually develop the program, but he was one of the remote viewers, and then he became my remote viewing teacher. That's how I met him.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, it's interesting when we talk about things like this, and you think, wow, that's kind of spiritual and out there, and then you say, well, yes, but the military has a remote viewing section, and how many cases has it solved, and how much intel has it brought in with subjects such as terrorism or, plans of this, that, and the other. It's an extremely valuable tool that a lot of us can do, if not all of us, if we learn how to do it.
Yeah.
So can you talk us through what one does in a remote viewing situation?
Okay. Well, typically, when I'm working a remote viewing target, I get a phone call from an anonymous person. There's several layers between me and the government. And I get a phone call, sometimes only with a target number. I have no idea what I'm actually going to be viewing. And that's because they don't want me to have what's called analytical overlay. So if they tell me what the target is, that's going to alter my perception of what I'm seeing or the information that I'm gathering. So I get the target number and I go into a trance, which the military would not call it a trance, an altered brainwave state. And I write down the target number. I draw something called an ideogram, which is a reflexive movement of your hand. So it just makes like a little scribble, and that's representative of the information that's in the target. And then I go into that scribble and gain that information. I draw pictures, write down aspects of the target, gather any information that I can, and then I submit that.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Luna, that is so fascinating. That is so fascinating. You're such an interesting person.
Thank you.
Now describe astral travel. So
Okay.
how does one astral travel?
Okay, so typically astral travel, you would know where you want to go. So one of the things I'm going to teach on Sunday at the Book and Arts Festival, Sedona Book and Arts Festival, is sending your consciousness out in an astral travel situation to the other side of the veil, creating an astral temple, which is like a sacred space that you can go into, and then call in guides that will help you connect with that creative energy. So it'll be focused for artists and authors so that they can get inspiration and move past writer's block.
Well, sure. Tap into
Yeah.
the channel and the source of all things good.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. And you have a lot of that information here in your book, which is, when did this book come out? It's pretty fresh.
May. It just
In
came out
May.
May.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. I just wrote the rough draft of my next book,
Really?
which usually the book changes its name several times before you get done. But
course.
right now that one's called The Secret Language of the Soul.
Very nice.
And that has to do with the silent energetic communication that takes place between living beings. It
Yes.
could be between people, like
Right.
us right
We're
now,
sitting
what's
here, yes.
transpiring without our words, or it could be between us and our pet horse or our dog
yep.
or a plant. Yeah.
Wow, and that is something that we all deal with every day, and if we can learn to work with that, I mean, you know what that is. You go, oh, he's got funky vibes, or I liked her immediately, or we just worked together, or
Yes.
well, we just, that's what that is.
We've all been around those energy vampires, I call
Yeah,
them. That you're
right.
near them and your energy is just drained out. Yeah.
Because they go all the time. Yeah, that's the sign of an energy
Yes,
vampire. They're
yeah.
going, and you're like, ah. Well, that's interesting. That's going to make a wonderful book on that.
thank you.
And can you teach a course on that too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you should, because I think that should be mandatory for everybody. A course like that
Yes.
to understand the energetic exchange between two human beings or another living creature, even an animal, a plant. I mean, whatever you want to call it, we do have that going on. And what you're sending out, you might be getting back. So you go watch what you send out.
And I'm going to teach some of that
Excellent.
soon.
Excellent.
Next month, October, I think it's the 16th. It's a Sunday afternoon
Yeah.
at Unity of Sedona.
Oh, very
So
good.
in the afternoon. Yeah.
That's wonderful. And tell us the
Yeah.
date of that again.
October 16th.
October 16th.
I think
Okay.
it's 1 until 4. I'm there with another author that wrote about the psychology of the near-death experience. His name is Roy Hill.
That's a
yeah.
good subject too, which
Yeah.
you've experienced.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, I hadn't had one quite like yours, but if you ask
all
enough people,
different.
you're going to come up with, a high percentage of people that have experienced some sort of near-death experience, or
That's
3 or 4 like me. So
Yes.
I'm like a cat. I have
Like a
9
cat,
lives. I
yes.
really do. And my daughter keeps going, Mom, you really got to stop doing that.
Well, that means that you have work to do yet.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's
Yeah.
what I hear every time. You got
Yes.
work to do. So, yep, that's for sure. We all have work to do.
Yeah.
We really, really do. Well, I am so pleased with your book, and I am
Thank you.
even more pleased to hear there's another one coming. And congratulations. That's just
Thank you, Jennifer.
amazing, and continue all your great work and your teachings and bringing your gifts to the world. That's really a wonderful thing. You can check out Luna if you go to her website, lunavanatta.com. Very simple. Another simple one today. I love it. lunavanatta.com. Beautiful website. All the information you need there. Now, if they want to pick up the book, how do they pick up the book? Obviously,
Amazon.com.
Amazon.com.
Locally at the Worm, and I just talked with Center of the New Age today, so
Very
I think
good.
they're probably going to carry it there. So yeah.
Congratulations
Yeah,
to
thank you.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
It's been great. Thank you,
Wonderful.
Jennifer.
Thank you. Luna Star Van Atta, she is the author of The Secret Life of an Astral Traveler. You can pick one of those up or go to lunavanatta.com and get lots of information there. Don't go away, because we'll be right back.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook. And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. I am now here with the incredibly tan Jake Allen, who is the Sedona Airport Coordinator. What a neat title. What a neat job you must have.
Oh, I love it. We have a lot of fun up there.
I bet. How long have you been the Sedona Airport Coordinator?
Only about 3 months. We're actually all pretty new up there. We're under new management within the last 4 months. Just a lot of new people at the airport, and so we're really excited this year about our airport day, and we're trying to involve the community in our operations that happen up there, and we're looking forward to it.
Oh, and of course it's the most beautiful airport. I mean, really, they say it's one of the most difficult airports to land at in the United States.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, when the weather gets crazy out there, you've got the mountains and all.
Right. And the little short runway.
It's they actually call it the USS Sedona, kind of, because it resembles an aircraft carrier because of the mesa.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
Wow, I never thought about that. That's so interesting. Neat. Now, what do you do as the Sedona Airport Coordinator? What's your job?
I'm kind of coordinating, what I would call it. Part of my responsibilities are our airport day that we do every year. We're doing that customer service with the customers that come through with their planes. So the FBO is what it's called, fixed base operator, and general just day-to-day operations, and kind of the manager's right-hand man. So.
Right. Hey, that sounds like a great job. Now tell us about the upcoming airport day. This sounds like so much fun with all the classics and the vintage and the antique, and then the new and the military. Right. Got automobiles and airplanes.
Airport day is kind of our yearly, party, kind of. We try and get anyone who's interested in aviation or anyone who just likes to come out and have fun for a day and look at airplanes. We have a lot of, like you said, vintage. Sedona Car Club is putting on a car show up there. We're going to have a lot of food vendors. There's just a whole lot to do, and it's a lot to see. And we're particularly excited this year. We have the Experimental Aircraft Association from Flagstaff will be hosting a Young Eagles fly-in, which is people with kids 7 to 17 years old can come out and go for a free airplane ride with a local pilot that volunteers his time and his aircraft just to the program, and it's just basically to drum up interest in aviation for kids.
Wow.
So actually my first flight in a small airplane was with this program, and I'm now a volunteer pilot for the program. I won't be able to participate since I'll be working the event.
Really busy that day.
But we're very excited about that. They have not had that in Sedona in their 18 years of airport days that they've had since 1998. So we're real excited to have that. There's going to be firefighters, firefighting aircraft, flight schools, local artists, just merchants and things like that for people to look at, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Hey, it's airplanes and automobiles. How could it not be fun?
Right.
I love that stuff. And that's just amazing about the fella getting the children interested in flying. I know that you're a pilot, which is wonderful. How long have you been a pilot?
Since I was 18.
Wow.
So I'm now
That's
28,
great.
so 10 years.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's great. My brother's a pilot. My father's a pilot. I wanted to be a pilot. I really did. It never happened.
You still have time?
I got time. I just never quite lined it up. But yeah, absolutely. And my brother took me up in his plane. It's one of those little bitty planes. I bent my iPad. It has a bend in it. I was holding it in my lap and I bent it because it was so exciting. I love my brother, don't get me wrong, but I hadn't been in a little two-person airplane before. And it was just so interesting, and he let me fly it around. Not easy to fly an airplane.
Well, it takes a little practice. It takes a little knowledge, but anybody can do it. You just gotta be motivated.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you have any interest in airplanes, now are some of the airplanes, are we going to be able to get in them?
Yeah, the pilots. There's going to be some warbirds from Falcon Field that'll be coming in. We're hoping to have some formation flying, and a lot of pilots volunteer to bring their aircraft up, and they'll sit with it all day long and show people the avionics and their radios and the interiors of the plane. Like, I'm sure that they'll let people sit in their aircraft, and it's definitely very fun.
Oh yeah, the picture opportunities, the photo opportunities for sure of being inside. I particularly like the vintage and antique and the military. Those are my favorite, especially the military. It's just, thank you to the military for their service, and these are the machines that they use to do that. And to sit in the cockpit of one of those aircraft and think of, where has this plane been? What has it done? What has it flown over? That's really neat to make that connection, and those antique ones are just so interesting. And then to see, of course, the brand new one sitting next to it, and you go, wow, has technology changed? And yet they still both fly, and they both fly just as well.
Yeah, that is, like you said, one of the coolest things is you can see an aircraft built in 2016, for example, and right next to it, 1941, and they're just, they're very different but still the same, It's just so much history in aviation and so much to learn and see. So
for sure.
Yeah, it's a great time for everybody. The event is free as well.
That was my next question. Good for you.
Parking is free. Entry is free. We just want to embrace the community and have everybody come up and learn a little bit about aviation and about the airport in general, and get to meet us all up there. And
that's great. And what a great way to do that.
Day.
It's a party. It definitely is a party, and it's the 18th annual party at the Sedona Airport, one of the most beautiful places in the world, to stand up there on that mesa and look out, and to have those planes there and all the cars set out. I mean, everything, it's just going to smell like diesel and gasoline. I love it. My two favorite smells.
A lot of horsepower out there, that's for sure.
A lot of horsepower, which is really fun. So you can bring the kids, you can have the family come out. It's awesome. Wow, I love the idea of having the young one get up there and get flying. That's really great, so they can experience. There's nothing quite like that. I love to fly. Takeoffs and landings are my favorite. I would take off and land all across the country. At the middle part where you're just, it's not so much fun. Yeah. But the takeoffs and landings I absolutely love.
Absolutely.
And you'll want to check that out. And that is happening on September 17th from 9 to 3 at the Sedona Airport, obviously. It's going to be wonderful from 9 to 3, so you're going to have classic automobiles, trucks, aircrafts of all vintages, military, antique, home built. Yes, my father built an airplane, so I know about those. And also brand new ones. Entertainment, you got food, you'll have everything you're going to need, and it's free, which is great. Make sure you say hello to Jake Allen while you're there, the Sedona Airport coordinator. Bring your family, bring your friends. I'll be there. Of course I'll be there. I'm not going to miss something like that.
Well, I definitely want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to promote our event, and we hope to see everyone out there.
Absolutely. We will be there. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that. If you want to check out the website, sedonaairport.org, if you go there, it's got information and wonderful pictures, which I reposted on our Facebook page. sedonaairport.org. Check that out. Make sure you say hi to Jake when you're there. Thank you, sir. We'll be right back, so don't go away.
Thank you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. We're now out here in the wilds of Sedona with the beautiful shamanic healer, Amalia Kamateros, who is also author of the book Spirit of the Stones, a retrieval of earth wisdom, full of great stuff, and that's why we're out here. Amalia, can you give us a little bit of info about your book?
Yes, like a lot of people here, I was called to Sedona from Australia, and in a very, very powerful way. And I was sitting in a stone circle, and all of a sudden I heard this word Sedona, and that my life just completely changed from that point on. Every other day I was receiving a very strong, clear message to, bit by bit over the year, to come to Sedona to retrieve the wisdom of the stones, retrieve the wisdom of Mother Earth by listening and attuning to the stone beings. And like the ancients would, they would attune into the elements, the agents of power, the trees, the clouds, the air, and they would listen to the messages. But my asking and assignment was to tune into the stone beings, the stones of Sedona, and really retrieve the wisdom and return it to the people.
Excellent. Excellent. And one of the reasons why we're out here today is to talk about grounding. We're standing here barefoot with our toes in the dirt. Now, can you please explain to us what grounding is?
Yes, and grounding, I learned about grounding through these stones. I mean, can you see these rocks here? They're very grounded. They're not going anywhere. It doesn't mean it's stuck. It just means that there's a strong hold and there's a connection to the earth in a way that is not flitty. It's not in the mind. The mind changes from this to that and yes to no and right and wrong and good and bad.
Right.
The duality. And the book is a lot about how to bring the dualities into the oneness, into the stillness, into the grounding, into the earth. Because I believe we're antennas of spirit. And all that light, just like a tree, is received in that photosynthesis element and comes in through and feeds the earth as much as the earth feeds us, just like a tree. And so grounding is about bringing all this electrical energy in the head,
Right.
yes, no, right, wrong, all this, and being able to let it filter in and down. A lot of people go up and out.
Right.
And that's what they believe spirituality is, and that's not how I believe spirituality is. Spirituality is more about bringing spirit, bringing heaven, bringing the light into the darkness, into the body, into the earth, and making a connection through our legs. The sciatic nerve, I'm sure a lot of people out there know what the sciatica is.
Yep.
And the sciatic nerve is the largest nerve in the body, in the human body, and it comes out of this area here that we call, excuse me, the root chakra. And it comes down, it looks like roots. They look like roots of the tree. So we have our own roots. And if we know that, and we can stand on the earth in a way that is connecting that electrical energy of the nerves to the magnetic energy of the earth, then that's the connection. We can stand into the power point, and gain energy, and give over energy as well.
Certainly, certainly. I mean, we all know that the Earth is magnetic, that we have positive ions out in the atmosphere, which are resonant with free radicals, the bad things. And
If
then,
it
of
wasn't
course,
magnetic, we'd be floating up
we
in the
certainly
air.
would be. And the negative ions that come off of the Earth balance us out and help us with a lot of health issues and really do a lot of calming of the mind,
Yes.
which is a big thing for me. I don't know about you, but I need some mind calming.
Absolutely, and I like the way you say negative ions, because I don't usually use that term, but it's true what you say. The way I would say that, like the other human way of saying that, the human ability to receive that would be the nourishment and the love of Mother Earth, because
Absolutely.
Mother Earth's always giving, always unconditionally, unconditional, just like a true mother.
Right.
So not only are we receiving chemically the negative ions, but in an emotional and well-being sense for our mind and our body and our spirit, we are receiving the abundant life force of Mother Earth. It's always abundant and always giving.
Always available.
Free.
365 days a
free.
year.
And
It's
it's
free.
free.
All you got to do is get outside, get barefoot, and stick your feet on the earth. It's really simple. Doesn't take any special equipment. Doesn't take any special prep. Just get out in your backyard or go out and just take a moment. I often take a moment when I'm hiking. I take my shoes off. I sit down and dig my toes in and just sit there
And
for
some
a few
people would
minutes.
call that earthing. And the important thing also is not to stand with your legs closed, because for those of you who know what chakras are, they're those spinning wheels of energy, that unseen energy. Then if we open our legs shoulder width apart and allow that chakra, that energy to connect with the earth, otherwise we're closing it off.
Of course.
And a lot of people stand like this. So opening the feet parallel, opening them out splays the energy out too much. So you're leaking energy, losing energy. But holding your feet, standing on the earth like a power point, like an appliance, one of those plugs that go into the earth. The earth is a power point, and these are the plugs.
Right.
So we are like walking appliances,
Right.
walking trees. The more we ground, which means following those roots down into through the thighs, in through the calves, into the ankles, into the feet, down into the earth like a tree, the more we gain nourishment like a tree. Our trunk is stronger and our branches can go high. The deeper the roots, the grander the flower.
There you go.
And the more we can give of what we're here for. The fruit of our tree can be
That's true.
fruitful.
I know, that's true. So go outside, take your shoes off. We have too much concrete in our worlds. We have too many rubber-soled shoes that disconnect us from the wonderful energy of our Mother
And
Earth
too many
here.
distractions with cell phones.
So
and
giving
computers.
off positive ions all over the place. You need to discharge that. Just wipe that clean. Reboot, basically, your system.
Reboot, reset.
Yep, you can do that by plugging yourself into the dirt. All you need is your bare feet. It's really simple.
Into
You can,
the earth.
yeah, you can take it as far as you want. You can simply just go out, take your shoes off, and sit there for a few minutes and breathe. Or you can get even more involved in it. If you want some more information about Amalia's book, you can go to earthspiritwisdom.com.
Yes,
you can check that out.
earthspiritwisdom.com. Yep.
And of course, if you can Google grounding or earthing, you come up with all kinds of amazing applied science, and then you can come up with more information information than you could ever chew on, depending on how far you want to go with it. But simply go outside, take off your shoes, and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, or if anyone would like to come out with me on the land, I do private sessions, which means that we go and take people actually literally out of their heads, into their bodies, into their earth, make their prayer like a seed. Drop the seed in the earth just like your prayer can be dropped in the seed in the earth.
Beautiful. Amalia Kamateris. Thank you so much for joining us out here. I feel better already. I feel very grounded and connected, and
thank you.
All my positive ions have floated away. So
thank you everybody for listening.
Life is wonderful. And we'll be right back, so don't go away.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream, that I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly, just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
This new dad is picturing a tree house in the sky, but he's ignoring the instructions. Good luck, big guy. His kids know that he's building without a clue. Never been so good with nails and glue. Now we're trapped inside a box. I hope mom knows what to do. Mom! See, you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
Let's head on down to the old Verde River.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, take me down to the banks of the old Verde River, just north of Clarkdale, Arizona, where the coyotes and the doggies and the catfish all play all day. Yeah, it's there on the banks of that old Verde River, in the shade under a cottonwood tree, that I would rather be today. So yippee-ki-yay, turn me loose underneath the clear blue sky. Let me straddle my saddle, let those days roll by, just let them roll on by. They're on the banks of the old Verde River, just north of Clarkdale, Arizona, where the coyotes and the doggies and the catfish all play. The car's running okay, and we are heading on back to the place we love the best in the West. It's there on the banks of the old Verde River, just north of Clarkdale, Arizona, where the coyotes and the doggies and the catfish all play. So yippee-ki-yay, turn me loose underneath the clear blue sky. Let me straddle my saddle and let those days roll by. Just let them roll on by. just north of Clarkdale, Arizona, where the coyotes and the dogies and the catfish all play.
I love that. And the title of that song?
The Old Verde River.
The Old Verde River, which is very cool. The Jerome Ukulele Orchestra, folks, or at least, what, a third of you?
Yeah.
How many members do you have right now, Tommy?
You know what? It just varies from week to week, and everybody's invited to always come up and play with us.
Absolutely.
So it runs between something small like this to something, like you say, 3 times as large.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I've seen pictures of you guys performing where it's all of you. So,
Yeah.
But that was an original song written by you, Dave.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. When did you write that?
Well, I wrote that song about 35 years ago.
Yeah.
The river has changed very little.
Cruising out of Phoenix in my 56 Chevy with my son and my dog. I
Really?
just kind of started singing it. So I don't know that
Wow.
I wrote it or it just kind of came through me, but it
That's
was.
great. I had no idea there was such a story behind that. I thought, last month, and wow, that's wonderful. How long have you been a member of the Jerome Ukulele Orchestra?
Oh, it's been probably about a year and a half.
Excellent.
I got in pretty early in the
Very good.
beginning there.
Very good. That's great. And of course, working with this guy, right?
Well, and speaking of that, so the first night Dave showed up to one of our meetings, we meet every Thursday at the Bordello
Yes,
restaurant.
you do at 5:30.
So he showed up that night, and 2 weeks prior to that, I said, you know what, I've got a gig at the Spirit Room, so I'm going to take you guys with me. We got 2 weeks to work up something, right? Dave showed up that night for his first meeting. It's like, hey, we're playing the Spirit Room in about 2 hours.
2 hours.
And he hadn't played ukulele since he was young. It's like, no, just smile, look like you're having fun. And so there's a video of Dave up there playing on the first night.
That's cute,
Yeah.
yes. A huge part of playing the ukulele is smile and look like you're having fun. But you don't have to look like you're having fun, because you guys are having fun.
It is fun.
Absolutely. This is the most fun group. We had you exactly a year ago.
Yeah, we did.
Thank you so much
Well,
for
thanks for
coming
having us
back.
again.
Yeah, and it's wonderful to see you. This is Tommy Rocks, who's just awesome. You are the founder, correct, of the Jerome Ukulele Orchestra?
I guess you could say
Yeah,
that.
we can call you that, the
Yeah.
maestro. You've got your wonderful store there up in Jerome, your music store, which is wonderful, kind of home base.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the mothership.
Yeah, and it's called Tommy Rocks, and I've sold, now in a little over 2 years, probably upwards of 400 some ukuleles out of there. So I'm getting the whole world playing ukulele.
You are, and now you're starting a project in Sedona, I heard.
Yeah, so the Sedona Art Center contacted me, and so they wanted me to kind of duplicate what I had pulled off in Jerome, but you can't do that because it's Jerome.
This is unique.
Yeah, so that's not going anywhere. But
we're much stiffer in Sedona.
Yeah, but so this year, I guess it was March, was our first meeting. So we meet the first Wednesday of every month at the Sedona Art Center.
Excellent.
And so we created a thing called the Sedona Ukulele Posse. And so we're playing music and having fun up there now.
Well,
too.
that's
So
wonderful.
I'll be there tomorrow night, in fact.
Okay,
So,
very good. Yes, you will. Yes,
yeah,
Wednesday.
from 6 to 8 at the Sedona Art Center.
Can folks be a member of both?
Yes, they can.
Oh, very
yeah.
good.
And once again, everybody's invited. So if you do show up, you'd probably want to show up with an ukulele. But yeah, most people start showing
That's
up about
helpful.
5:30ish. We go from 6 to 8 at the Sedona Art Center, and everybody is welcome to attend. Both.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All ages.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, but it is helpful if you have a ukulele.
If you don't, we know where you can get one.
We do.
Tommy Rocks in Jerome.
Well,
huh?
last
Nice one,
time you
nice
were
one.
here, I'll never forget, you said, I can teach you to play the ukulele in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And you did.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant.
I think
So
we even have photographic proof of
I
that.
think
too,
you do.
so,
I
yeah.
think you do, which was quite wonderful.
Yeah.
You guys have a hugely packed schedule as far as performances. Can you rattle off a few that are coming up if we want to come find you?
Sure can. And this year, we're not playing as much as we did last year. Last year, when we saw you, we were getting ready for America's Got Talent, so we
Yes.
did that. And this year, so we do got kind of a packed event. It's coming up here, so I'm trying to think. Well, for sure this month, we got September 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. So 22nd, everyone is invited, and once again, it's the Fireman's Picnic, potluck picnic in Jerome at about 5 o'clock on Thursday the 22nd. The next night, these guys will be playing without me at the Old Town Center for the Arts for the Celebrate the River Day, doing Dave's song. And the next day, we're playing at Dead Horse State Park for Verde River Day, the 24th, so from about 11:30 to 12:30.
That's a great event.
It is a great event. It's a great river, and anything we can do to help out. And yeah, and then we've got the Jerome Humane Society fundraiser. That's the Honeymoon Cottage, this beautiful mansion up in Jerome that not too many people know about. That's October 16th on a Sunday. And they got brunch and Bloody Marys and mimosas. And
Bloody Marys for $20.
yeah.
Oh my gosh,
and
that
food,
alone.
And it's a beautiful place. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. What else we got? We got the Jerome Christmas party.
Made in Clarksdale.
Made in Clarkdale.
Yeah.
We're going to be playing that in December 4th.
Jeez, you guys get around.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and so many ukuleles in one room. I'm like, my brain is going. And of course, and there is a pair of bongos on the floor that you can show.
Yes, there is.
It's a cello lele. Is it really a cello lele?
Bongo lele.
Well, and you've
This
got
is the
the basa lele, which I love, and I love this
Yep.
lovely little woman back here. And there's
And we got a
banjo
banjo lele.
Way too cool. I
It
love the
is.
solo in the middle.
Yeah.
That was really great. It's too fun. The next song that you're going to perform, is that also an original, or what are you planning for us next?
You know what? We figured we'd do some Led Zeppelin for you.
Rock on.
Yeah. So, but it's our own version of Zeppelin.
Yeah, I know. I love your Facebook page and your website
Yeah.
because you've got all those videos on there,
Yeah.
and we can see you guys rocking out and having fun. And I mentioned in my opening that you're just the most fun group of people
Oh, hey, thank you.
around. And then one of our guests earlier was listening to you in the break room and said, "Wow, that sounds like a lot of fun." And she went running. I mean, it's fun. You guys are just fun. You know, musicians. Musicians can be a little like every
stuffy.
now and then. You guys are just fun.
Oh, hey,
It's a
thanks.
wonderful group to be part of.
It is,
Absolutely.
and you know what? It's just very organic the way it came together, and I'm just really happy with
Yeah.
everybody. You know, most people never had been on stage before. In fact, Dave, that first night that I asked him if he had ever played the Spirit Room, and he said, "Nope." I said,
Yeah.
"How long you lived there?" And
I know.
So it's like, "Well, you're playing tonight, buddy."
Excellent.
So now everybody's stage
Tell us your
worthy.
website real quick, Tommy.
Yeah, so TommyRocks.com is my music store. TommyRocks.net is me, the musician. We have JeromeUkuleleOrchestra.com.
Yep.
Like you say, Facebook. You can find us all over YouTube. We got a lot of videos out and more to come, too.
Well, great.
So.
I'm so happy to have you guys here. Thank you
Thanks
for
for
coming
having
and have a wonderful season, I guess we'll call it, till the next
Well,
time
hope
I
to
get
see you again next year.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
see you before that, I hope.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
thank you all so much for watching the Verde Valley Experience. Know you can check us out on our Facebook page. You can see us at verdevalleytv.com. Make sure you don't miss these guys on any one of their events and join up if you want to have some fun. So thanks and see you next time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Here we go. A little Led Zeppelin. So, a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's been a long time since I rock and roll. It's been a long time since I done the stroll. Let me get back, let me get back, let me get back. Baby, where I come from. It's been a long time, been a long time, been a long, lonely, 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 lonely time. It's been a long time since a book of love. I can't count the tears of a life with no love. Carry me back, carry me back, carry me back. Baby, where I come from. It's been a long time, been a long time, been a long, lonely, 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 lonely time. You got it too? lonely, lonely.